Welcome back. Amidst raging protests against farm laws, crucial round 2 meeting between farmers and centre Delhi's Vigyan Bhavan is underway as we speak. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal along with farmers are present for this crucial meeting. Sources say the government is going to be taking a positive stand on the contentious issue of MSP, but is not going to be repealing the farm laws. The centre already has a copy. They are in possession of a copy of the grievances of the farmers, which are sent via a letter. A clause-by-clause discussion is going to take place as the government will attempt to answer all the worries of the farmers. A panel also may be formed comprising of farmers, of government representatives and experts if no consensus is reached today. The Bharatiya Kisan Union spokesperson has said that they're going to be upping the ante if talks fail today. Farmers are adamant on their demand of repealing the farm laws. Meanwhile, centre feels that meeting is going to be successful.
भारत सरकार किसानों से लगातार चर्चा कर रही है और मुझे आशा है कि चर्चा के सकारात्मक परिणाम निकलेंगे।
तो क्या किसान कह रहे हैं कि तीनों कानून जो हो वो वापस हो, उसके बीच का भी कोई रास्ता है?
देखिए, जब चर्चा होगी, चर्चा में क्या रास्ते निकलते हैं ये चर्चा पर निर्भर करेगा। पहले से थोड़ी भविष्यवाणी की जा सकती है।
सर, आपको लग रहा है सॉल्यूशन कुछ न कुछ निकल जाएगा कहीं तो, और आप बात आगे बढ़ेगी? आज
नहीं, स्वाभाविक रूप से आज चौथे चरण की चर्चा है और मुझे लगता है इसका सकारात्मक पक्ष ठीक निकले।
Sir is with us. Anand Patel is also with us, taking the straight across to Rahul Srivastava first. The top developments, Rahul, as you see, while the meeting is going on, a lot of crucial issues being brought to the table. Clause by clause, every issue is going to be addressed by the centre today. What is your expectations in terms of the outcome of this particular meeting? In case the outcome is not successful, will there be a panel that can be formed which comprises of government representatives, farmers, experts? Let's re-establish that connection right there to Rahul Srivastava. Anand Patel also with us. Anand, if you could get us the inside track of what's going on, clause by clause, every demand and every concern put by the farmer is going to be discussed with the Commerce and Industry Minister, the Agriculture Minister as well. What if there is no consensus? What if the two parties cannot meet midway? Does the government now have a plan of action in case that happens?
I appeal to resolve the issue.
Well, you see, as you just heard the Union Agriculture Minister, he was saying that he's hopeful that the stalemate will be broken, and that is the reason why the talks are happening. This is the fourth time the talks are happening between the centre and the farmers. Now, as far as the clauses are concerned, the most crucial one is the MSP issue. The government has been maintaining that the MSP will continue, but the farmers are not ready to accept this clause from the government that while the MSP will continue, the procurement by the agencies will stop once these farm laws are put in place. That is the biggest objection of the farmers, and that is the reason why they have laid a siege in Delhi. And that is the reason why the government had to talk to them again and again. Now, a little while ago, let me just update you with what Captain Amrinder Singh told Union Home Minister Amit Shah. He made it very clear that Punjab is a border state. It's a matter of national security, the manner in which the farmers have travelled all this way to Delhi, hundreds of kilometers, and have laid a siege. This is a very sensitive issue, and he appealed to the centre to resolve this issue as soon as possible. He has sounded an alarm, he has sounded a caution to the centre to resolve this issue as soon as possible. So clearly, word of advice from the Chief Minister of Punjab to the centre there as the talks are going on in Vigyan Bhavan with the government negotiators and the farmers. It remains to be seen as to what kind of a leeway the government gives to the farmers so that this standoff is averted, at least for now, because the farmers are in a combative mood. They are clearly saying that they are here for a long haul. They have come with preparations for 6 months siege. Imagine what will happen. Already the entry points of the national capital regions are being choked. We've seen what has happened at Singhu border, at Tikri border, at Ghazipur in Uttar Pradesh. Imagine if more farmers come from
I'm going to go
Punjab,
straight across to
Haryana,
Rahul Srivastava as well. Rahul, this is a real problem. You know, there is a demand shock that the farmers perhaps on ground are facing at the moment because the mandis still remain to be volatile and concerns loom large because the pandemic has not been very kind to anybody for that matter as well. Do you think there is a certain amount of overreaction coming on the back of this particular demand shock also that they're facing, which perhaps could be temporary or not? You know, you could shed some light on that.
Chetty, during the pandemic, the entire economy took a hit, and in fact we saw that the GDP levels fell by minus 23.9%. And despite that, agriculture was one sector which outperformed everything. It withstood the vagaries of a pandemic and ensured that the farm output in the last season was much better than the earlier one. And in that scenario, the response as far as the absorption of the farm produce is concerned, see, India is now, yes, a surplus in terms of cereals and farm produce. But definitely one fact is there that despite the decades of MSP and Mandi system prevailing, the exploitation of the farmer has not stopped despite the best of the alleged attempts of the governments, because the government systems which are part of the procurement remain extremely corrupt and exploitative. And in that there are middlemen who exploit the farmers, there are rice and wheat millers and others who are profiteering at the cost of the farmer. And in fact, the government's intent, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi a few days back spoke on the banks of Ganga in Varanasi, he said that this is a law which has been created with an intent as pure as the waters of the river Ganga. And that's what the government maintains, that this is a new offering as far as the existing system is concerned, that farmers, instead of just getting trapped into a mandatory mandi system that they can sell their produce, which has exploitative middlemen in which they have to pay dues to the mandi system, they can actually take it outside to the private players. Now comes the catch, is the real fear is that once that system starts coming in vogue, it has been a complaint of, say, farmers in the sugarcane sector, that the sugar mill owners, they take their produce, they don't pay them in time. And we saw at one time that the UP farmers were to be paid nearly 75,000 crore rupees by UP sugar mill owners. That's where lies the catch, that the farmers are the practitioners of the art of agriculture. The government makes the rules. Somewhere between them there is a gap of improper implementation. The MSP system is terrible actually. Punjab is a good scenario, but rest of the country, go to Bihar, where the farmers own average land holding is 1/3 of the farmers in Punjab. They are much weaker in terms of sheer economy and scale. And there the MSP system completely fails them. Very little, barely 20-25% is procured by the system. Rest is open to the private sector. And that's where the farmers are worried that once that kind of thing happens, a new system regime comes into place, they may not get their dues. And that's exactly what some of my sources inside are telling me, that one of the major points which is under discussion right now is the procurement issue. That what is the government has procured, the fears of the government, that's what the government is trying to answer.
That's a very important point right there, and somewhere, Rahul, this is also a symbolic reflection of the contract that the government has with the Kisan as well, with the Kisan MIFT. It's never a good signal for an agri-based economy like our country.
Yes, the old adage, when Lal Bahadur Shastri said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and we always have read in our school books, कि भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश है. We are, India has nearly 67% people who are directly or indirectly involved with the farming sector. The agriculture remains one of the largest employer in this country, and any kind of weakening of that matrix will spell doom as far as this economy is concerned. Remember, food insecurity is something that India has seen at one time, and today if we are a surplus nation, it is largely due to the hardiness and I think the hard work and the sheer grit of Indian farmer in a country where barely 20-25% land is irrigated, and farmers are subject to the indifference of both the gods and the governments in form of droughts, bad policies, floods and everything else. And that is why this is a very delicate issue. Farmers farmers are left on their own largely. And in the last few years, the government has attempted to increase their returns by increasing MSP by 150 times, and also by bringing in certain measures, giving a Kisan relief package in which 6,000 rupees is given to all farmers. But these are piecemeal attempts, Chaiti. A large, comprehensive macro look at the agriculture sector is needed. Government said these 3 bills are a new reform which will change a lot of things. But I think the farmers are worried because the past system has not worked.
Yes.
So what is the guarantee that the new system will work? That's where there is the government's responsibility, how it convinces the farmers.
And that's probably where the insecurity of the farmer and the Kisan at the moment stems from. This is a very important, crucial meeting that is taking place between the centre and the farmers. We are tracking the inside developments. Rahul Srivastav, Anand Patel getting us the latest.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.